I like reading books, especially IT books, and I have lots of them at home. And I even please my colleagues with them, and I spread them all over the company. So, small story about the book. So, I'm very sorry for the German title, but this is the very, very first computer book that I owned. I was 15 years old at the time, and was doing UCSD Pascal on an Apple IIe. It has 128 kilobyte RAM, and it has two 5.25 disk drives, and on each drive you had 180 kilobytes, as far as I remember. And the special thing about this book, it brought me to a complete new world of programming. And still remember, at the very end, there was a chapter where the complete file system was explained. So you really could access the file system from your program, and you change the directory and all this stuff. It was marvelous. But that's not the book I want to recommend for you to read. So everything starts with this blog post, I think about, a month ago. Michael Bolton referenced this book review by James Christie. And I went to this review and I read it, and I immediately bought the book and I started reading it on the trip here to Bristol. I'm not done through it, but nevertheless, I really want to recommend to read this. So, I have to admit that at least in Germany, I was not aware of this problem that you had here in your country. And because there was no news about this. But the book tells a story about a software system called Horizon that was installed in the early 2000s in the British sub-post offices. I just want to say that I'm absolutely frightened what happened here. I would call it one of the biggest, perhaps the biggest failure of software. The consequences were dramatic. Several hundred people were convicted on crimes that they have never done, and many of them were put in jail. And as far as I'm not that deep in the story, but several people tried to perform suicide because of this, and because of the shame that were accounted in their community. So, but it's not only a problem of IT or of the software, it is a problem of the complete society which went wrong here. So, I really can recommend read this book. And I want to change my title at the end. You should not read this book. You must read this book. Thank you.